What's up, y'all? Bobby Norris in the building. Before I play this, Bobby BK in the building. Before I play this, I'm gonna show you guys something. Look, let me show you from the beginning to the end. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, even me in here. And that's just me by myself. And I just said Avengers Endgame sucked. Thanks for the promotion, YouTube. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Me again. Me again. Others. Just look. Yeah, look, especially this bull crap. And I'm so sick of you guys with this iron. Oh, Captain America took the Thor's hammer. Shut the fuck up. I knew he could do it. Fuck him and that damn hammer. Shove that hammer up his fucking head. See me again. See? Sucks. Watch somebody says 3 hours, no thanks. Look, Don Cheadle and Jeremy Renner hate real. Of course. Stupid shit. No thanks. Let me hit this guy right here. Okay, let's get on with this corny ass movie.
Hey guys, this is just going to be a video, and I'm just sorry about it's off the cuff kind of thing.
Okay, that's
There
it.
was also
That's
someone
cool.
online that was
Oh,
very
no
upset with me,
thanks.
and I just wanted to talk about it.
No thanks. I ain't feeling that garbage, man. Let me show you some. Check it out. Look at that. Look at that. It sucks, man. Look how many views of people. Total combined views of all these people that knew that it sucked was about 500,000. I'm telling you. Let's see.
What's up, everybody? It's Dr. Peyton. So I'm on my way, walking in almost into Avengers Endgame. Nothing Thor, because let's be honest, he's the best. So I'll tune in with you guys after the movie's over. Kind of give you my general quick reaction, and then we'll talk about spoilers next week as days pass without the watch. So here we go. Alright. Oh, you got some more tears things. Okay, that's cool. I cried a lot. Now, did not expect the ending. Did not really see that coming. Fuck. I got no words, y'all. It's 3 hours. Doesn't necessarily feel like 3 hours. Things happen that my mind's just like blown right now because it all makes sense in the one way where they all win. Just. You hear sniffling, cheering. There was so many. Oh my god, incredible moments. There's so many just like what am I watching moments. But overall, to end
She a cute one.
Avengers, this was like the perfect fitting way to do it. So, my god, I want to talk about spoilers so bad, but I can't. This sucks. Be prepared to cry. Bring tissues. Sorry. If anyone eats Skittles in this goddamn movie next to someone else, you are jackass. No one eat anything that makes sound. I will punch you.
I
So bad. This movie
like
sucks.
this chick here.
Bye.
Hot
So I
garbage.
went and
See?
saw Avengers Endgame. How did I see it so soon, you ask? Illegally on the internet, of course. Yes, that's right, I'm a pirate.
And look what I said. Majority of mostly Caucasian dudes did not like this movie. And first and foremost, all the other ones are probably you know are paid or they're just dick suckers. But the movie sucked, man.
Get over it, Disney. So this is going to be a non-spoiler free. There's definitely going to be spoilers, duh. So if you don't want the movie to be spoiled, don't watch this. All right, let's get on to the freaking movie review because, well, there's just a...
All right, we're gonna hear this. We're gonna hear this. What he gotta say. Send them all.
If you're a hardcore fan of Marvel, or if you're somebody that just watching a movie, you're probably going to disagree with me. In fact, most
All right, 6
people
minutes into this taping.
are probably going to disagree with me, which is why I want to share my opinion with you guys in full honesty, and I'm not going to give myself or the opinions that I have about Avengers Endgame any breaks. All that being said, my initial reaction upon seeing this film was just a slight disappointment. For the most part, I'm gonna try to just
Kill yourself. Look at this motherfucker in denial.
basically thoroughly enjoyed
He gave him a love too.
movies. Captain America movies are my favorite. I even have a poster from Captain America 1 hanging up in my bedroom. Again, all that being said, for the most part, I enjoyed Avengers Endgame thoroughly from start to finish. I saw most people said the first act was slow, but I actually did enjoy it a lot. The issues I have with the film are definitely spoiler filled. So if you haven't seen Endgame yet, and if you're even remotely interested, I'd recommend going to see it, as I know the opinions that I have about it aren't the mass consensus.
See? Robert Bradshaw. Can't
Right off the bat, I want to mention that I'm only going to be
make
talking
no
about
sense.
narrative choices and out.
You see? It make no sense. Buckwheat seeing Z with the Chucky and oh, by the way, I'm going to see Chucky, which will be 100 times way better than Avengers Suck Game.
Comes in the movie, and won't be talking about anything else really. I want to keep it brief, or if not brief, I want to get straight to the point. And I'm only going to be talking about negatives for the most part.
Thank
There
you.
are a lot of things that I did like about the movie, but of course, you're hearing a lot of the positives from mostly everybody, and I just want to get straight to the negatives. So to start, I just want to mention that I feel as though, unfortunately, the time travel element of the story was executed really, really poorly. I had my hopes high that the Russos and their creative team would be able to pull off time travel in almost like an expert workman-like way, but like most movies that deal with time travel, almost nothing about what they do makes sense. To try and pinpoint the way it's presented in the film, there's a scene with the Grand Master from Doctor Strange who, after we see that I guess she was helping in the Battle of New York by slicing down a couple aliens from her rooftop, she explains to Hulk or Bruce Banner that if they take the time stone out of her reality and bring it to our reality, they're going to screw up everything for her reality, because apparently they are now two separate realities. And I believe this is what they were trying to clarify in the scene where Ant-Man is talking about his time travel idea earlier in the film, in that when they travel back in time and start tampering with things, they really actually create a new reality different than the one we know, but separate as well. So it's a little confusing, and they actually have a joke about how confusing it is, but I don't really think that makes up for the logic that they're going for. At the end of the film, Captain America goes back in time to put all the stones back to where they took them from, so that all the alternate realities won't get screwed up, which is something they actually kind of brush over. Like, I guess he's just able to, by himself, break back into the army base and all that. I guess he's able to go back to wherever they got, the Power Stone from in Guardians. Like, I guess he's just able to put the Aether back in Natalie Portman's body. I'm not sure how he'd do that, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. They kind of just brush over it, and it's just another moment in the movie where you kind of have to get over it and suspend your disbelief a lot. And I'll actually talk about that more in a second. But anyways, Captain America goes back in time. He returns the stones to the realities and places where they belong. But then he chooses to stay back in time and be with Agent Carter, his love interest from the previous Captain America 1. Now, this is something I want to say millions of people already thought he was going to do, including me after I saw Infinity War. pretty much everybody knew there'd be time travel in Endgame. But then we see Hulk and Falcon freaking out that Cap hasn't returned, because he was going to return in 5 seconds. And Bucky tells Falcon to go look over by this bench where some old dude is sitting, and it turns out the old dude's Cap, and they reveal that he stayed back in time and played out his life with Agent Carter. However, if he went back in time to be with Agent Carter, then Agent Carter never married the one dude that she married, and she never had a family, and she probably still gets dementia. But the point I'm trying to make is when Cap traveled back in time and stayed, he created a new reality separate from the one that he had just left. Everything from that point on is changed. Everything. As they said earlier in the film, you can't change the past. If you change something in the past, that's a new reality that you're branching off from, which is why they're stealing the stones in the first place and putting them back. The snap in their reality isn't changing the past, it's just bringing those people back to the present again. Pretty confusing stuff. That's why Thanos in this movie time travels from 2014 to now and starts messing things up, because the Thanos in our original movie's timeline still was there. He did everything up to his beheading in this movie. The Thanos in this movie is a different Thanos from 2014 and on. So my question is, why is Cap still in our own reality at the end of the film? He should be in a completely separate reality from our own. The bedside scene in Winter Soldier never happened. Her funeral never happened that way. Probably nothing of the Agent Carter TV show happened, but Marvel wants you to forget about that show anyway. So as I was sitting in the theater and saw Cap in, the Benjamin Button makeup, it threw me off a lot, because unfortunately, as much as I wanted to turn my brain off for this film, I simply can't if the whole movie's logic is completely unraveled for the sake of the fan service we received from Cap getting the happy ending he deserved. I understand Marvel has made planet-sized loads of money from the movies they've put out. They've already made this movie's budget back like 5 times by now already. And millions of people adore these movies, and obviously, they soak the fan service in, as I almost feel like they rightfully should at this point. But the problem I had with fan service, like with what happens with Captain America, is that they sacrifice the integrity of the entire plot for it. Having Captain America be there at the end of the movie just gets rid of any logical consistency the story has. Cap being at the end kind of throws the entire time travel element of the story in disarray. And in doing so, unfortunately, that's my biggest problem with the film. And I hate that my favorite character, whom I wanted to see so badly get his happy ending with Agent Carter, is ironically my least liked aspect of the movie. Now, Captain Marvel, even saying the name feels controversial. But as with a lot of other Marvel films, I was just kind of neutral with her. Sure, I don't like some of the things Brie Larson as a person has said, but Captain Marvel herself really just wasn't interesting to me at all, personally, either. So I'm glad that she wasn't in the movie for a lot of the time, because I was kind of worried she was just going to get shoehorned in. But the time she was in it definitely felt like she was shoehorned in, and I want to say a couple of them were a little bit cringe-inducing for me. When the noise fades out during the final battle and we see the big Thanos ship start firing at clouds and we can't see what's coming, of course, out comes Captain Marvel. She takes care of the huge ship in a couple seconds by just flying through it and blasting it. And then she kind of gives Thanos a run for his money. I don't know. The way she's portrayed as the saving grace for the Avengers was really something I wasn't hoping for. I kind of just wanted the original team to just beat him on their own. Earlier in the film, when she's kind of giving everybody lip the entire time, it was just a little too much for me. Everybody's basically broken down as characters and just depressed as hell, but she doesn't seem bothered at all and is like, I got more important stuff to do, you probably won't hear from me for a while. And that even in itself kind of made me roll my eyes a little bit, because it's like they had to just have her say that and go away so you don't have this hilariously overpowered character just getting all the stones on her own, because she totally could. I guess I should talk about the eye roll moments of the film, because there were a lot of them for me. I'm almost certain that some time passes between scenes in the first act of the movie, like between the Avengers asking Tony Stark to help them with figuring out time travel, and then he says no, because after the next couple of scenes, Tony Stark has seemingly solved time travel. from no information from Ant-Man about the quantum realm or anything. I guess maybe he already knew everything about the quantum realm that Hank Pym, delved into, and he knew all the intricacies of it. But yeah, he just goes like, "Hey Siri, let me see what I've been thinking of in a belt-looking object," and the AI is like, "Here you go," and he's like, "Shit, I've done it." And then they kind
With
of
his
play it
daughter.
off in a cute way with his
Don't
daughter.
forget his daughter,
like,
right.
Reacting to him swearing, and it's pretty funny and cute. But
Yeah.
the only reason why that happens immediately afterwards is because I feel like they're trying to draw your attention away from the fact that Tony Stark just invented a working time travel device like it was nothing. But I understand the type of movie I'm watching, alright? And that it isn't fun to poke holes in something like this. But why does it seem to me like Infinity War and damn near most other big team-up movies in the MCU or solo films have much more just narrative structure to them? The only really big gripe people had with Infinity War that I remember was, why doesn't Thanos just give everybody unlimited resources? And even that was kind of like a, dude, come on, type of criticism. I mean, because he had already, for years, been wiping out planet populations. I think at that point he was just demented. So when I talk about Cap's time travel thing being screwy, or how Tony invented a time travel device like it was nothing, or how Hawkeye just immediately comes back to the Avengers from being a ruthless murderer of 5 years, it feels like these are such huge, valid things to point out as opposed to the other films. I think I'm going on for too long here, as I wanted to keep things brief because
Keep going.
It's more of a conversation or discussion than it
A lot
is
to
an
talk
in-depth
about.
review or analysis. This is my initial reaction from seeing the film. It's like 3:18 in the morning. But I also wanted to point out a couple of other things that I know me, as an individual person, didn't really care for. Now, I think I may be a heartless, soulless shell of a human being, but I didn't tear up a single time in this film.
Me neither.
To me felt off in a weird way. I just can't quite place it. His death did absolutely nothing for me.
What was the point of that?
So predictable, and maybe how he acted in the film too just played into it. I just don't know. And this is coming from somebody that really had some tears flowing at Spider-Man's death in Infinity War. Of course, Cap's reveal scene did nothing for me emotionally either, because it just felt so disingenuous to the plot. I'm not sure, but in this 3-hour film, it felt like they didn't give enough time to the reunions of the characters. After Spider-Man comes back, he hugs Tony and it's like 10 seconds long and kind of stale, when Tony legit has spent 5 years in agony and guilt over billions of humans' death on his conscience, but especially Peter's. Gamora and Star-Lord reunite, and it's kind of played for comedy, so I don't think we were supposed to feel anything anyway. I don't know, man. None of these reunions of the Fallen really impacted me at all, and I'm really bummed about that. Nick Fury also does nothing in the movie except stand on a porch for 5 seconds, and I didn't really think that was cool considering that this is like the end of the last 22 films. This is the end. This is the footnote. And there's no closure for him. We don't even see him, saying congrats, guys. Something that's just occurring to me now is how little of everybody besides the original team there is in the film. And I'm not sure if that's a flaw in my mind, as it may just be a misstep, I guess. I understand that the original characters is what made this series what it is. And to be honest, I'll agree that they're really the only ones I cared about seeing in this movie. But this movie has just effectively not made me care about any of the new guys that are supposed to be carrying the torch from this point on. And I don't think that's a good thing for Marvel in my mind. Spider-Man has like 2 lines. His reaction to Tony Stark dying is like really rushed. Black Panther and his squad do the Mbappe thing again for like the 4th time, I think now. I'm also really disappointed about Thanos in this movie. I came in wanting to see the Thanos from Infinity War lose and get beaten. But the Thanos that loses in this movie is like an extremely more arrogant and villainous, cliched purple guy than the one from Infinity War. I think that it may be because it's the Thanos that hasn't had a few years to develop into the mature kind of sociopath that he was in Infinity War. He still had both of his daughters with him in this movie, and it looked like he was still busy wiping out halves of planets by hand. It just wasn't satisfying at all to me to see him lose, or to hear him say how he was just gonna wipe out the entire universe instead of half now. Dare I say he even became just a generic weak villain in this movie. Again, this isn't the Thanos that lost his daughters. This isn't the Thanos that sacrificed Gamora and cried on the spot even. This isn't the almost remorseful villain we had in Infinity War. This dude is just out for power and blood, and he has no connections to our main characters other than those stones. I feel like if this Thanos won, he damn well wouldn't be resting on a farm. I guess overall, something about this movie feels like it was just too much.
I'm done with it. All right, y'all. I'm out.